Thank you for tuning in to What Does BOKEY Mean to You? Sanford, a small city with a big heart. You are watching Season 1, Episode 2. Our special guest today is none other than Commissioner Kerry Wiggins of District 2. Listen in as Kerry shares about his life growing up in Sanford, being a leader in the community, and loving what he does. You don't want to miss this episode. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of What Does BOKEY Mean to You? Sanford, a small city with a big heart. This morning I am with none other than Commissioner Kerry Wiggins.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for jumping into this episode with me.
No problem at all.
I know we've been trying to do this for a long time. I'm happy that we're sitting down, and I know that he's got a lot to share about BOKEY.
Yes,
from his own perspective. We were just talking about that a minute ago. He's like, Farrah, what are you going to ask me? And I don't know what we're going to talk about really, because it's going to be his story. That's the reason why the BOKEY podcast has come to be, is because I don't want to share anybody else's story. I want it to come directly from you.
I have no problem with that at all.
Yes. Yeah. So, I was delighted to see that you are a long time. You were born here.
Born and raised.
Born and raised, and not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. I love my home.
That's it.
Born and raised in Goldsboro.
Yes.
I have a 17-year-old mother, single mother, that her parents, my grandpa and grandma, raised me with her. And so when I tell you how passionate it is to be here at home,
yes,
and give back, I'm excited about it. An opportunity.
Listen, I didn't know anything about this, so I'm going to hold him off because I want to read his bio. I don't want to leave that out, because I was on the city website and I was reading your bio and I'm like, wow. You and your whole family. Yeah. So just a little bit about Commissioner, right? So he was born and raised in Sanford, as he just shared. He is a devoted husband, father, mentor, and minister. He is a 27-year product of Seminole County Public Schools, a graduate of Seminole High School, a graduate of Georgia Military College, where he received his AA degree, and Savannah State University, where he received his BS degree in Recreation and Park Administration. He is the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of the nonprofit Unity Youth Association. He has collaborated with the Picnic Project, which is going to be happening today.
Yes.
And a lot of you all in the community know about this, for the past 5 years to give food away to the community.
Yes.
So he is married to the beautiful Adrian Harden Wiggins for 28 years. He made sure that he corrected that. And they have been blessed with 4 children, Kerrena, Josh, Kerry Jr., Kaylan and Kyra, and a beautiful granddaughter, Jaylan. Kerry looks forward to moving towards and upward in partnership with his fellow citizens of Sanford to reinforce positive community involvement and support. So again, welcome, Commissioner Kerry Wiggins. So Kerry, you started sharing about your mom, which I knew nothing about that.
Yeah.
17 years old.
17, yeah. I'm born and raised in Goldsboro.
Okay.
And, I take pride, again, because I know how it is not to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I teach people. I always used to say children, because I was always blessed to work with kids. That's my passion. But God put me in a position, not just the children, but adults.
Yeah.
Because who don't want to, and I always tell this to people, Farrah, who don't want to be loved?
Yes. Yeah.
Who don't want to be respected? Mm-hmm. And I believe that anything you do your best at it. Yeah. But you try to make sure you're in a position that you can enjoy while you're doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And anybody that knows me know it ain't about the mighty dollar. It ain't about the pat on the back. It is not about how much attention you get.
Yeah.
But God will take care of all that. But if you do it the right way and you help bless folk,
yes,
the joy that you see from them is worth millions.
Absolutely.
Because you get it from the heart.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, I didn't really I had role models. My uncle, that was kind of one of the reasons that led me to go into the profession of school system, because, the guys always talk about, Coach Rob, and my uncle was like a example. Me and my cousin JJ, which are like brothers, we were raised together by our grandparents. We'd look and see how it was with him and the respect that the community gave him from being coached. But now also, with my aunt, his wife, and, with his daughters, we always felt, till I became an educator, that teachers was rich financially. Lord have mercy.
I was going to ask you, is your uncle still alive? Is your uncle still
here?
Oh,
yeah, he's still.
And lives here in Sanford?
He lives in Winter Springs. He's a retired educator.
Okay.
My aunt, and since we losing my mom, my Aunt Berta and my aunt, which I nicknamed was Aunt Doll, and my Aunt Ella, her older sisters, like my mother figures. They anything that I'm doing, they're right there with me.
I love that.
And when I tell you that not talking down on anybody else's family, but Farrah, I got the best family in the world for me.
For you, yes.
I mean, it's not like every family goes through things.
Yeah.
It's not like a perfect family, but I tell you what, we got a lot of God, we got a lot of love.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we know that's what drives you. We're gonna go through situations, yes.
Yeah.
But you know, and even to know I lost my mom 3 years ago to COVID.
Okay. Oh wow.
A lot of people that don't know the story, and when people ask me how are you able to handle situations, well, I tell them that the God that I serve has allowed me to go through things and not break me, but to strengthen me.
Yes.
And a story that I tell folks, 3 years ago, my mom was down at the hospital in Sanford, fighting for her life. Wow. She was on the ventilator, and she had been on the ventilator for about at least 25 days. And to that, my wife, my daughter, my son, we're an educated family. So all of us work in the school system. Yeah. And so we were out for 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year. Okay. And during that time, while my mother was in that fight for her life, during that 2 week span, my daughter and my wife was in there on the ventilator fight for theirs.
Wow.
I don't tell people this for a sob story. I tell people this for strength because I know without a shadow of a doubt, God said, I'm going to take your mother with me. Yeah. And I'm going to give you your wife and your daughter back.
Oh my gosh.
People say you always seem like you preaching and talking. No, I'm just talking about who God made me.
Yes, absolutely.
And I take value and pride in family. I'm not perfect. I used to say I'm not better than anybody. I'm not saying I'm better than someone to be on a negative, but if I'm doing right and they're not, I am better.
Absolutely.
And I teach that to the children. I say to children, I guess God starts saying I teach that to people. Yeah. Because we are, as adults, are still learning. We're never going to know everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so like I said, I take that in pride, and God has blessed me with being in education for so many years that not even with the Young Men of Excellence program that I've been teaching, these last 10 years, but I was at an event yesterday, and this is always happening, and a couple walked up. And the guy and the girl walked up, the man and the woman walked up, and they were like, man, how you doing, Coach Wiggins? And I didn't know him. It's so crazy, baby, because I've been doing it for so long, I have to ask, what year you graduated? What year you get it? Because I've been doing it for so long.
Well, I've got a funny story about you that's going to make you laugh when you're done talking about this. It's going to make you laugh.
Well, I'm talking to somebody, they walk up and be like, man, Coach Wiggins, I was just telling my wife and kids the story last night. He was like, Coach Wiggins, man, you remember me? I was like, man, y'all face look familiar. Yeah. And so he's like, man, I stayed in your class. Well, here's the kicker. And one of the school board members, Miss Autumn Garrett, was standing beside me, so she can get a kick out of this too. Because watch what I tell you. He says, man, I lived in your class. I said, hey, man, where you live in my class? And I know I taught you history and I did credit retrieval. He was talking about in-school suspension.
Oh. Well, listen, for those who are watching, Commissioner Wiggins' students and his family, I worked in an office in Sanford. Now, I met you last year through a friend of mine when I told her I wanted to do this BOKEY podcast. Yeah. She's like, well, you need to interview Commissioner Wiggins. And I said, okay, and we happened to be at the mother and son's dinner that we were having. Yes. And so, but at my office, I worked in an office here in Sanford, and a lot of my patients would come in, and they were from Sanford. So I would listen to them in the lobby. And I'm not breaking any HIPAA rules because I'm not saying any names, but there was a gentleman that came in, and he was one of my patients, and I would ask him, so what do you do? What did you work? And he told me what he did. He said, well, I was a teacher at Seminole High School. And I said, okay. So as he's leaving his appointment, there's another patient in the lobby, and they recognize each other. It was a former student of his. Okay. So as he's talking to her, he's asking her, well, how's everybody? Where's all these people? What's that guy's name that was in my class, that student? He was always sleeping. He's your commissioner now. And it was you. And I laughed. I said, okay, if I ever get a chance to interview him, I'm going to share that story. And this was the sweetest gentleman. I believe he was you guys' ROTC teacher.
Colonel Gibson.
He was the sweetest man.
Yeah, my man.
And so as he was leaving out, I would listen to these stories of people sharing about Sanford. And so he's like, he said, where's that guy? He was always sleeping in class. Yeah, he's your commissioner in and out, and I was so tickled because I'm sitting there. I'm not in the conversation, but I'm listening.
God.
And that was my biggest, place of researching this podcast was about BOKEY.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, it being this negative thing, but then, I started getting these positive stories out of it. Because every one of the patients that would come in my office, I would ask them, so what does BOKEY mean to you? And they would smile and they would share their stories. And so you were already in the books to be on this podcast because this gentleman remembered you from way back yonder.
Yeah.
Just think about that with the students that you have now that come back to you. I mean, because they're still your students, right? Even though, you retired now, you're not really retired. We talked about that. You're now in your second part of what you're passionate about. But you are memorable. I do want to say that. And so I'm not surprised if someone will walk up to you and say that. Not in class suspension, whoever this gentleman is, that's funny. But your commissioner was sleeping, but he still graduated, went on to do big things.
Yeah.
So, you were sharing about, just your community, how much you have a love for it. You actually are leading the community that you grew up in.
Yeah.
I mean, do you pinch yourself sometimes and ask yourself, what am I doing here?
Still to this day. It's crazy because I never forget my boys, all of my boys. Mm-hmm. And they was all sitting right here. I don't care if they're black, white, Hispanic, or whatever their nationality is.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to throw the girls in too.
Uh-huh.
Won't tell you I don't love them.
Yeah.
People take that for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same love for my wife, my children? No.
Yes, yeah.
But all of them, this is one of my top words, jokers. Them jokers know all of them. The girls and the boys know if they see me.
Yeah.
I will do whatever I can if it's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But don't call me if it's something you know you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
I have no heaven or hell to put nobody in, but I can't indulge in nothing I know is not right.
Yeah.
Because God put me on this mission.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I know a lot of other young boys and young girls are watching. Mm-hmm. So when they come through, I want to make sure that I'm prepared for them.
Yes.
I was telling one young man yesterday, I'm also a minister, and he reached out to me. I hadn't talked to him, and I told him, again, not calling his name, but because I do this a lot, but I met with him yesterday, and he called me earlier this week. I hadn't talked to him in over a year.
Wow.
He said, Coach Wiggins, I need to talk to you. He said, because I'm going through a situation with my wife. I told him, I said, I was just happy when I saw your phone number come up on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm not happy why you called me, but I'm happy that you said, Coach Wiggins, I thought of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I said, now,
that
I
speaks volumes.
And I said, if I wasn't who I am in God, I would have been like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I said, but I'm telling you this because I want you to open up. This is not, I don't do dog and time is precious with me.
Yeah.
And I don't do dog and pony. Mm-hmm. If this is not what I want, I can tell you, and I can tell you in a way out of love.
Yeah.
I don't have to discredit or talk down on you, and I can keep it moving. Because you only get to do this thing once.
Yes.
And I'm going to, anybody to tell you, I'm going to enjoy them. The guys and the girls that went to school with me say, you still, like in school, you still play around, you still laugh and joke.
Yeah.
Who said we can't?
Yeah, right?
Why can't you be so serious and so grown up that you can't enjoy life?
Yes, yeah.
And enjoying life don't mean you hurting somebody, talking down on somebody, mistreating somebody. Man, show love. Mm-hmm. And guess what? I'm a big enough boy that if I offended, I can apologize.
Yes, that's important.
I can ask for forgiveness. If you take it, it's on you. I would want you to, but if you don't, I did my part, and I got to keep it moving. Mm-hmm. The children that tell you, Coach Wiggins don't tell us to kill people with kindness. Mm-hmm. He say love them.
Love them.
Because if you start off with a negative, you've already hurt yourself.
Yes, yeah.
But if you start off with a positive, and leave with my daddy, and this is what I say, that my dad is my man. That's my man. We sit on the phone and laugh and joke. My dad live in Connecticut. Okay. Baby, but if you talk about dad, you think he's insane because
that's funny because you're gonna say Connecticut. That's so far removed from Sanford and BOKEY.
Yeah,
so far.
but daddy's been there over 20 some years, and I tell you what, I love that joker. I'm very proud of him, excited for him. Everybody around town, old school, know him. I tell him I look like him and things that nature, but I laugh at him because he's enjoying his life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
But he also, and he knows this, he also helped me help others. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, I tell folks this story not to downplay my dad. I love my dad.
Yeah.
But I know this too. Every single one of us on this planet has had something God has to deliver us from.
Yes.
Or are working on us right now.
That's right. Yeah.
But when we have obtained it, that's joy come with that.
Yes.
And so, but when I tell that, you know, I tell the guys and the girls things that I look at that my father didn't do. I don't use that as a negative to drive me,
yes,
like people do. And I used to.
Yeah.
And so God showed me why have a negative drive you to a positive.
Yes.
Because you're going to always have it in the back of your mind. So you know what I do, baby? I tell the story, and I tell the story, and I let folks know, first of all, I'm doing this because I want y'all to know that you can achieve.
Yes.
Especially, but not just African-American boys.
Yeah.
Any young man that comes in my path, because guess what? All nationalities, all genders have problems. And so how you handle the problem.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I tell them that it is so unique that we take this for granted, the things I'm about to tell you. And then I can let you get to another question.
Yeah.
You say, I'm a talk girl. But this is what I pride myself on. And I used to tell this to all my classes that they came through these 20-some years.
Yeah.
My father wasn't there to show me how to tie my shoestring. But I showed all four of mine. He wasn't there to show me how to ride my bicycle. But I taught all four of mine. He wasn't there to show me how to drive a car, but I used Seminole parking lot for all four of my children, my two boys and a girl.
Yeah.
When I was a deacon, I baptized Kerry, Kerrena. When I became a minister, I baptized Kaylan and Kyra. My G-Baby reminds me, when you tell the story, G-Pop, don't forget, you also baptized me.
Oh, wow.
But then one of the other greater opportunities God allowed me to have, I walked my daughter down the aisle, and I turned around and I performed the ceremony.
That's beautiful.
People say that you see folks on social media, you see them out about putting on shows. My children and my wife and them know I don't do a show. Do we have things that we have to deal with? Yes.
Yeah, like anybody else, family. Yeah.
But don't water or dummy down what God has given you to try to fit in. Be who He made you.
Yeah.
Know if you got to straighten up on some stuff. You go to Him and He'll put people around you to make sure you can.
Yeah. You know, you started out by talking about your dad. So your dad, was he born here in Sanford?
Born and raised in Midway. I was born and raised in Goldsboro.
So this is the first question I have for you. What does he think about you being a commissioner of Goldsboro? I mean, first of all, we're saying Goldsboro. Sanford is a good sized city. I do want to tell people that because they think it's the tiniest place. You are commissioner over a very historical area. It's a lot of rich history there. Not that Sanford doesn't have rich history, but Goldsboro has a lot of rich history.
Goldsboro and Georgetown.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so keep going.
Yeah, Goldsboro and Georgetown.
Yeah.
I have both of those districts.
Yeah.
And
I mean, what does he think? I mean, when you decided that you wanted to run, your wife, because you probably ran after you were married, all of these things happened after. So what did your wife think? What did your mom think? Your dad, your family?
Well,
which means that you started serving before you retired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I got stories for days for that. Anybody that, when they see this, that knows me, know I'm long-winded girl, I'm gonna talk. So that'll lead you to what they all said. And basically, Daddy was excited. I mean, what good parents wouldn't be excited when they see a milestone from their child?
Yeah.
Ma do a lot of, Ma was very shy. We would laugh at her. She was very shy when she had to speak in front of the camera. But let me be out there on the football field playing. Let me be out there on the court, out there at least last year, before my passing, I was out there coaching.
Yes.
The jokers talk about our son, our grandchildren. We used to have to tell her, hey, Mom, you gonna get us in the sub. Sit down in them stands and you be quiet.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
That is so
and
funny.
So we still laugh about it to these days.
Yeah.
But, you know, honestly, that wasn't something that I thrived. I didn't want to be a commissioner. A lot of people that don't know this, that are not close to me. Dr. Williams, and Lord knows she has for years and still is a blessing to our community, our city.
Yeah.
Dr. Williams would call Britt and I sometime, Britt Henderson, you know, like a brother to me, like co-founder partner, our nonprofit. And normally, when Britt and I was coaching at high school, if something was going on in the community with the football team, and some parents then came to Doc and complaining, you know, Doc do her homework. Doc don't just go out and do something just to do it. She do her homework.
Yes.
And you better be ready when she comes. So
she's a powerhouse.
Yes. Yes. And so Doc, what she did was she was like, well, baby, I need to meet you at the front porch. And I was like, okay. Britt wasn't coaching me then at that time. I was like, bro, what Doc want, man? Who done went saying something to Doc now, man? He laughed. He like, bro, I don't know, man. But you got to go meet her. Yeah. Or she gonna find you. And so I'm up there with her at front porch, and she's sitting across the desk. I'm like, okay, Doc, what's going on? And what parent didn't call you with some, you know, problem with football? She started laughing. She said, no, baby, I ain't calling you for no football. And I knew she wasn't gonna serve another term. Okay. That was far from my mind, though.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, church, coaching football, family.
Yes.
You know, hey, those are my areas. That's where I went to. Yeah. Doc gonna tell me, my baby, ain't nobody called. I don't want to tell you that we got some folks that we're looking at. Wow. Because I'm not gonna run. I'm starting to smile, okay? You know, hey, and you on the list. Not a big list, but you on the list, and I want you to go, because Doc does a lot of volatile. Not asking. I was like, but she can't volatile me on nickel. So I'm like, Doc, I appreciate you thinking about it. And so at the end of the conversation, I said, well, Doc, let me pray on it. I said, and I'm going to get with my wife and my children. I said, because anything that I do, who knew God was preparing me on the stuff that I went through in the school system with the coaching. And my wife and kids had to endure that throughout the time. Because when I started coaching Kerry Jr. and Kerrena, when I was at the high school, they were like 6, 7 years old. Okay. You know, I mean, Kerrena 34, Kerry 33 now. Oh, wow. Wow. And so they went through, but who knew God? That's why I tell people, you don't know why God is preparing you for different situations. Yeah. So who knew during that time, as I was going through it, my wife and my children, my family, as a commissioner, was just another additive, but they had already been prepared. Yes. And so I, you know, prayed on it, and I went home and I told her, and she was like, her and the kids all said this. This ain't gonna surprise you, baby. You have no strength. You're not a stranger to anybody. You talk to everybody. You don't care about how they look, where they're from. You show love. Yep. If that's something you want to do it.
Then you had the foundation. You already had the foundation.
But I wasn't what I was looking for. Yeah. So ended up doing that. Do I regret it? Not at all. Because here's the kicker. Even though I knew, and my family knows, I know how much my wife and my children care. G-Baby. Well, she said she's the 5th child. But when I told my boys in Young Men Excellence, and the program was set up for all African American guys. Now we have others, and no problem. It is what it is. But when I sat in the room and I told them boys, I didn't tell them to see if they was gonna jump for joy and go crazy. But I remember when I sat at the Seminole High School. I remember, and at that time, Mr. Thomas was the first African American commissioner in the city of Sanford in District 2. And I was in school, and then Dr. Williams had been doing it for years, so we grew up knowing Doc as commission. Yes. And so now it's starting to hit me. But it really, really didn't get to me until one of the boys, because even though I was going through stuff I went through in football, I don't like controversy. I don't like all that crazy stuff.
In football, it's a lot of energy in football. I don't know how you all do it. I don't understand it.
Well, but it's a love. It still is a love. Yeah. But I was walking back from the office with one of my Young Men of Excellence presidents, and that joker is second lieutenant in the Air Force now. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm probably gonna pull out. Because even though I knew it was stuff that it was some different stuff that I was going through now. In the runs for this campaign stuff. What I found out, it is what it is, because it's the truth. Some people don't care how they drag you through the mud or how they do things. And what happens is, what really started getting me, some of the men and the women that I really looked up to and respected, that were my parents' ages, were doing and saying stuff. And I'm human. And it hurt. And it was different because I removed myself from coaching.
Yeah.
So I'm asking, do I want to go back into something like this? Because,
Yeah.
baby, people that know me, again, I ain't got to have all the attention. I ain't got to have I can sit right up there in the corner, and you ain't got to even know I'm there.
Yeah.
Where some people I started learning running for office, got to have all the attention, got to say what they did.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep posting and putting things out because I've been told by numerous folks, we love to see what you do.
Yeah.
We love to see the lives you touch.
Absolutely.
So I know it's much more good than bad.
Yeah.
But that young man told me, he said, Coach Wiggins, you can't. He got mad at me. Hold on, bro. I'm an adult here.
Yeah.
But you know how sometimes when the children get upset with us because they care.
Yeah.
He said, hey, man, you got all us stirred up around here, excited because our teacher, and you're a father figure, you're a father to a lot of us.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And you gonna tell us you gonna pull out?
Don't quit. Don't quit on us. That's what that sound like.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Told my wife, I was like, man. But he said, much is given, much is expected, required.
Yeah, yeah.
And if my young men of excellence were guys who sit in this room right now for my last few years, they'll tell you something that I do with them. They all say it together afterwards. And I tell them, so man, thank you. And all of them finish up, so is he.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever you put your mind to, before you thought it, apparently you felt it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after you felt it and you thought it, you spoke it. So that's why sometimes people need to watch what they say before they speak, because some things in your heart you might need to hold off.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Because you can't take it back when you say it.
Yeah, it's a part of framing who you are by the words that we speak. So we started out earlier by talking about how for some people BOKEY can be a negative thing. Because I think I told you that when I heard that, it seemed like it came from a person who it was meant to be something negative. But as I started speaking to people in my community, they were like, I heard these most beautiful stories. And so for you, has it ever been a negative that's been turned into a positive for you when you hear BOKEY?
Well, people, I love my home. Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
I can put I love my home on my car, my house. I can wear a shirt like that. But show me how you treat people. Sometimes people try to change my joy and my truth into a negative.
Yeah.
But if it's the truth, and bad is bad, then I'm telling you what bad is.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you have to say that I'm speaking negative or I'm being a bad person because I'm telling the truth, then baby, that's what I got to be. And when I talk to a lot of people, I tell them, if you want to know who you are, and I got a lot of practice in the classroom with the boys, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
If you want to know who you are, look at the people you're comfortable hanging around.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you.
Yeah.
Don't nobody else have to come back and tell you. You don't have to wonder. When I hear people say, I wonder why, just look at your crowd.
Yeah.
And when you look at your crowd, if you're good people are not comfortable around bad people.
Yeah.
If I got to do it, but I'm not comfortable around it, and I'm getting the heck out of it when I can.
Yeah.
Bad people hate being around good.
Yeah.
Because I used to be one. Years ago, over 20-some years, 25, 26 years, don't come tell me about the Lord. I believed in God, but man, come on with all that preaching.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm the one they run from. And so we laugh about it.
Yeah.
But they respect me.
Yeah.
And people don't realize just how key that is. So as long as you put yourself in a situation that you would want to put others in, you can sleep good at night.
Yeah.
When folks show you who they are, believe.
Yeah.
And I go back and forth sometimes, because when I hear a person saying, I won't do better, I won't better, ain't nobody die for me but Jesus. So you ain't doing this first for me.
Yeah.
I tell it anybody that I'm counseling, I'm talking to, if I don't have both parties there, we only talking about you. And when we talk about you, we ain't talking down on her or talking down on him. We're talking about you.
Yeah.
What are you doing to make yourself better?
Yeah.
And let's talk on that. Because I don't believe it's fair if a person's not there to defend themselves.
Yeah.
To be able to assume. That's how you keep it moving.
Do you realize that you're a big part of the change in BOKEY from being a school teacher, deciding to come back, to being a school teacher, to changing the lives of the youth? You've now also utilized that in your organization by working with the kids in our city, and also as a commissioner, you're changing things in BOKEY. Have you seen, what's one of the biggest things you've seen with the change in our community, besides the people? Because I'm sure Goldsboro has to look different for you. But you know, Goldsboro is like a little town in Georgetown to me that's set in time in some instances, but I'm sure there has been some changes, some growth there.
Well, the thing is, you bring more awareness, but I'll never, you know, I'm a part of being, I'm excited being a part of the process.
Yeah.
So I don't look at it as me, as much as I look at it, God allow me to be used to glorify Him. Again, He said, if your conscience don't condemn me, neither will I. Have I, will I do things that are not good and pleasing Him? And I got to go to Him and ask for forgiveness. But do I plan on setting up time to hurt somebody or offend? Oh no. Because there's two things that I tell people that I'm smiling about, because this last year with me, you know, well, it won't be a year, it'll be a year in May, with me going out and talking to different sponsors and supporters. I normally, within the starting of the conversation, let them know who I am, just off the top, because, hey, I'm not going to be bought. Yeah. And so I tell them, there's two things. I say, you know, y'all, as a minister, I'm not supposed to say I'm scared or something, but I'm going to tell y'all something that I ain't looking to go to. Hell and jail.
Yes.
And they all laugh, but I want to know who they're talking to.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I just told you, I've told all of them. If you're not comfortable with that person, then you know who you met. But you'll never walk away from me and say, I wonder who he is. I'm going to let you know as much as God says let you know, because I have no hidden agendas. And sometimes people may think it's arrogance or bragging. No, it's confidence. That I know that I serve a God. And so that's why I always say, am I perfect? The boys in class, like I said, I'm gonna keep giving you stories about the boys and laughing because I love the jokers. I love. You say more so with Goldsboro, Georgetown, my district as a whole, but I think more so it's just the presence of wherever God had me at. Because again, I'm the same at all those places. And sometimes people don't realize. They say, "Well, I don't act like this here. I don't." It comes out of you, just don't know, because you can't hide it as well. But baby, I ain't trying to hide it. Where I'm at church, here, home, the community. Nobody's gonna tell you I act any different. I don't care if I just met you. I'm gonna have some joy. And
I tell you, you know, when I think about Goldsboro, because I drive through there a lot. My son went to Crimson Academy. You have some huge pillars in that district, as far as like. You know, that's a part of that town. You have the police department. One, you have a big brand new police department there, not brand
safety
new.
building, because it's police and fire.
Yes, and then you have
True Health.
Crooms Academy.
Yeah, we got True Health, the clinic right beside the safety.
You got True Health. You have the homeless shelter.
Yes.
You know, that's huge. And then you have the Boys and Girls Club. You know, and
hold on, let me back up. West Dr. Velma, West Side Community Center, Boys and Girls Club rent from us. So, but they're there, and a lot of people associate that with it, because we just put the name up down for a while. I mean, a few years ago. But
we definitely want to give Dr. Velma Williams her flowers, because she was a big part of you. Decided to transition into this position, and she's a forerunner, you know, for that community. And then now you've stepped in, and you have some big things in that community. You know, from, like we said, the safety building, the True Health. I forgot about True Health. Seminole County, you know, the shelter there. You have Crooms Academy,
And actually,
which is a huge part of that community.
yes, and actually behind Westside, Dr. Bill Westside Community Center, we will be having. We voted it in. You know, I got some some pushback from folks that this was talked about before I came into office.
Yeah.
You know, that seeing I want to go ahead and get done, and we're getting to the final stages where we could, you know, Lord will break ground this year.
Okay.
And we'll have the Gold World Sports Complex, where you're going to have a state-of-the-art track, and you're going to have playing fields.
Oh wow.
So that's also going to be something that can be utilized with Crooms, because Crooms doesn't have playing fields, they don't have a track.
Yeah.
Anything for that's going to be a plus for home, I want to be a part of it.
I love that.
But sometimes people get it mixed up, because if you don't go for Rome, now you're the problem.
Yeah.
I'd rather be a problem for stopping Rome than allowing our children in the community to have something that's going to be motivated for them to move on.
Yeah.
The young boys and young girls would always say, Coach Wiggins, all this stuff they're doing at home for us,
Yeah.
it allows us to want to come back home
Yeah.
and be here.
Yeah.
It allows us, if we're going to go off to college or go to the military, come back and make this home. Why? Because people are showing that they care about our home.
Yeah. Because that was one of the questions I was going to ask you was what made you come back home? What pulls people back to Sanford?
Well, Britt and I, like I said, Britt, my brother, and we would always talk about coming back home, and that's how our nonprofit started.
Yeah.
We would basically, we started having football and cheerleading camps. Jeff Blake, we used to have his football camps, and then when Jeff and then Reggie Branch had a couple of them, and then Britt and I just took it over.
Yeah.
You know, because we were here. You know, those guys weren't living in town, and so we wanted to make sure that we did that, and we did like and we do the alumni football, the alumni. Last year, I was the oldest one out there playing. You know, family.
Yeah.
We both believe in family. If you get the family, not just a child, not just a parent, but if you get the family,
yes,
and you solidify that, oh my God.
That's why I love how you guys do the father-daughter dance, you do the mothers. And my son, 21, came with me to your dance.
Yeah.
And my grandson, we had a beautiful time.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Be ready that first week in May, baby. We're doing it again.
Yes.
My boys in class, mothers, they were like, because you know, like I said, if you ain't learn, I like to be the hype man. And I was talking about who gonna be the best dressed.
Yes. It was awesome.
And we're gonna continue to keep doing it. Like I said, last Saturday we had our father-daughter. We had some of them daddies in there crying. Again, you said with your 21-year-old son, my wife's father brought her. They were the oldest couple.
Wow.
They were the oldest couple, and then we had a couple of them that had their daughters like 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
And I told them then, don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to be loved. And these young girls got y'all here tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I know other young women wish they had their daddy or father figure there with them.
Yeah.
Or the father wish that he could bring his.
Yeah.
So we don't take it for granted when we do the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And that's how our organization is built. We build on first God.
Yeah.
But we build on the structure of the family, the whole family. People used to always ask when they met us, what would be any different with UIA versus the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah.
And this is not knocking any other organizations.
Yeah.
But we believe in the whole family.
Yeah.
And academics gonna be first.
Exactly.
It sounds good when people say the academics and then academics is going to be first.
Yes. Yeah.
We will be starting, we have our tutoring program here, and next week after next, we'll be starting our reading program. And we have a reading program with what UIA is doing, no one in this area that we know of is doing.
Wow.
And in our tutoring program, we service 40 to 50 children. But we also have one day out the week mental health. You tell me a tutoring program that has mental health for the children.
Yeah, that's huge.
And what Britt and I have come up with, in our organization, if you got a parent, if you got a child in our program, you have to let us know by signing off that if we call you to participate, if we call you because one of our teachers or one of the programs we're having here needs you to come in,
yes,
you need to come.
You have to come in. Yeah.
If you don't come, we're gonna remove the child. Some people say it seems harsh, but I know that other organizations wish they can do that so that they can get the buy-in.
Absolutely.
Because you can't build a child up with you, and then he or she goes home, and it gets tore down again. All you doing is throwing it back and forth.
Yes.
No, we want to make sure that what we do, instead of quantity, quality.
Yeah.
And when we build that solid foundation of quality, the numbers are coming.
Yeah.
But we have a waiting list. But people know Brett and Kerry are not just gonna let anybody come just to come. It's not a babysitting program.
Yes.
And that's what leads me to the reading program. We have someone bless us with the reading program because it's not fair to the teachers when you got, and I mean the school board can only do so much.
Yes.
So this is not talking down on Seminole County Public School. This is just facts.
Yes.
You can't have a teacher got 25, 30 kids and half of them got a reading problem.
Yeah.
And you asking one teacher, along with all the other stuff he or she has to do to help that.
Yeah,
so only so much they can do.
Yeah.
So within our program, we've been blessed. We got 3 reading teachers that we've hired. Beautiful. 2 are regular ed, 1 is a ESE.
Okay.
And tested all of our children. And we're gonna start bringing the ones in that are in need on Saturdays, and there's gonna be no more than 25 of them. Okay. And from 9 to 12, they're going to get help with their reading.
I love that. That's awesome.
We partner with Seminole State. We do the GED program. Partner with Seminole State. We're able to have a trade program because our advisory board. We have Sheriff Dennis Lee. We got Dr. Lorenz from Seminole State. We got retired Dr. Walt Griffin, who was the superintendent. Wow. I can go on and on, about the CEOs, Janella Dunn, Donald Walsh, we can go. We've been blessed, pillars of the community, Mr. Kennedy Bentley, Mr. Melvin Philpott. We got guys and women that believe in the mission. And they're already doing it. We just brought them together with us. Yeah. And so we all do it together. Yeah.
I love how you understand that you need a tribe.
Oh yeah.
And so you have your tribe. And you have them doing it in Sanford, in BOKEY. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So share with everybody what you're doing and what you have coming up.
Well.
Because you have a lot coming up.
Yeah. Well, we, I was just telling Kerry that we have our reading program that we're starting, but even with our program, you can go to our website, which is uia.sanford.org, and you can pull up the information on our nonprofit. We just had our father-daughter dance. This March 8th, we'll be having our 2nd annual gala, and you can go to the website to see the information. We're looking for as many folks to sign up to support that as possible because majority of all of that goes back into giving to our programs. So we're very, very grateful and thankful for those that have been supporting us. And so we'll be doing that. And then in April, we have our Boys to Men event. Last few years, the least we might have had has been 100, but in the past we've had 200 plus from elementary boys to grown men. And we have a social. And then in May, we do our mother-son.
I'll be back this year, and I'm going to sign up for the gala as well.
So we have our third annual mother-son dance. But again, it's just so much that when you go to our website, you'll be able to see that we're able to tie in with partnerships, and it helps me also being a commissioner because, my brothers that I'm getting ready to go see after this is the picnic project. Yes. Ryan and Mark are a blessing to our community. We started, this is the 6th, 7th year with once a month as commissioner in picnic project. And the last 6 months, we've taken on another opportunity with our nonprofit where we meet at Hamilton. And we do that once a Saturday a month. And each time we service easily 60 to 80 or more families. So you're able to come out and be able to get groceries. Again, we want to make sure if you are coming in to help give services, not just to Sanford, not just to Goldsboro or Georgetown, but we're doing this Seminole County wide. Then we have services, and we're looking for partnerships that believe in the vision that we believe in. We can sit down and talk.
So listen, I'm going to have all of Commissioner Wiggins' information on this episode on the YouTube, as well as Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and Buzzsprout. Reach out to him, support the organizations, and know that you brought all this good stuff back to BOKEY. Because if you hadn't come back from school, if you had another plan, what if you had another plan? What was your plans that you thought you had? Because I can imagine all that you were doing when you're thinking about doing something else and going somewhere else.
Well, this is ironic you asked that. I left that out.
Yeah.
I never forget my senior year in high school. We were doing our senior essay, and that essay, Pharaoh, was pretty much, it's only two things that I said I wanted to do.
Yeah.
The first one, because I was the first team all-state quarterback. I said I either want to go to the NFL.
Okay.
Or come back and be the head coach of Seminole High School.
Wow.
I never want to do anything else. And things are similar. You know, you notice I keep throwing my brother Britta. Things are similar with him.
Yeah.
We wanted to come back and help home. Who knew the capacity of what God was going to do?
Yes.
But that's why things have been so awesome for us now, because not only God, but people know our hearts.
Yeah.
And if we get no recognition from man about all the things that God's allowed us to do, we know it worked out for our good.
It worked out.
Yeah.
And you're working with your best friend.
Yeah.
I love that. How many people can say that you can call home, come back and work in your home community, raise up those in the community who they were you at one point, and you both are making a difference.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. So if I was to ask you, who would you want to pass the BOKEY baton off to for the next episode, or just for any episode, who would you recommend from our community whose voice needs to be heard? Because you have a ton of them. Because you just mentioned Dr. Velma Williams.
Yeah.
There's probably so many others.
But Doc, it could be me. It could be Doc. It could be Mr. Kenny Bentley. It could be Mr. Melvin Philpott. It could be my brother Britt Lee.
Hey, there we go. Because we want to listen. They want to hear your stories.
Yeah.
I have so many people who's interested in moving to Sanford.
Yeah.
Because after hearing Sheena's episode, they're like so intrigued with our little city and what we have to offer. You know, it's a lot of heart here. It's a lot of love here. And so, hey, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for being with me today, Commissioner.
Thank you for having
me.
me.
And listen, he's about to be off to the races again. He's got more work to do today. So I'm so thankful that he took some time out of his schedule to sit down and talk about our city. So thank you so much for watching.
Thank you all.
Till next time. Thank you.
Hey, did you enjoy today's episode with Commissioner Kerry Wiggins? Don't forget to follow him on his many platforms and see what he's doing in our community. Listen, if you like this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.